Good morning, children, and welcome again in social science class. This is chapter number 3, Civics. The name of the chapter is What is Government? And today we are going to start lecture number 2. As in lecture number 1, we have already covered some of the topics like the meaning of government, the parts of government, or we can say organs of the government, role of government or functions of government, levels of government, in which we covered national level or central level government, state level government, local level government. So these were the some topics that we have already covered in our lecture number 1. Now, today we will continue the chapter with some more topics. So, the topics that we will discuss today, they are types of government, means the main types of government present there that we will be covering. Democratic government in India. In India, here the democratic government is present. So, that we will be covering. Representative democracy, what does it mean? That we will cover. Earliest form of government in India means in earliest time before independence, what was the government, the people who were forming the government, what was the criteria basically. Universal adult franchise and suffrage movement. So today we will be covering these topics. So let's start the topic one by one. First is types of government. The three main types of government are present: monarchy, democracy, dictatorship. These are the names of different type of government. And if we talk about India, here in India, democratic type of government is present. So, if anyone asks you the types of government, monarchy, democracy, dictatorship. And if we talk about your syllabus, here monarchy and democracy basically we will be learning. So, the first is monarchy. Monarchy type of government in which the head of government is king or a queen. Means they make all the laws or they take decisions and they are above the laws even. So if we discuss about this, king or queen form the government. It means monarchy is a government by a king or a queen. They have power to make decisions. Different decisions and laws they are given by king or a queen. It is hereditary form of government. Monarchy is a hereditary form of government in which king or queen inherit the throne from their mother and father. It means that the king or queen, the successor of king or queen will be the son or daughter. So hereditary form of government in which same family they rule one after another. So monarchy is a type of government by king or queen. They make all the laws, they take all the decisions, and this is the form of government that is hereditary type of government. So these are the features of monarchy government. Next is dictatorship. A form of government in which all the authority and power are enjoyed by one person. Means a single person is head of this type of government. The person has all the powers with him only. He does owe any responsibility towards the people. He does not want to listen any of the people problem. He is not responsible about anything. That person is known as dictator. And the example we can take Saddam Hussein, who was dictator there in Iraq. Hitler, if we talk about in Germany, Mussolini, he was there in Italy. So these are some of the examples of dictatorship government. So the form of government in which all authority or all power they are enjoyed by one person only. So that is the type of dictatorship government. The third type of government is democracy. That is known as the best type of government. It is a government by people, in which the people they elect their representative, they form the government. So it is a government by people. All people are equal in front of laws in this government. Whether the person is minister or any poor person, anyone, all people they are equal in front of law. People elect their representative. The representative who are forming the government, people they elect them. If you have seen the elections in your surrounding, you might have seen that the people they go for casting vote, for giving votes to different people. And the person who is elected from a particular area, that person is the representative of the people living in that area. So democracy type of government is the government by people, and in this government people elect the representative in the government, and all people are equal in front of laws. If there is a question that write the features of democracy, so these features you can write. And if comparison between democracy monarchy, then also you can write that democracy is government by people and monarchy is government by king or queen. They are king or queen, they are above the laws, and here all people are equal whether they are ministers or common people. And there the hereditary type of government it is in monarchy, but here people elect their representative. And if we talk about India, here after every 5 years the government representative they are elected again. So this is the difference, if you can see there in monarchy and democracy. Now the definition given by Abraham Lincoln of democracy. What he gave the definition? Abraham Lincoln defined democracy as the government of the people, by the people and for the people. He defined that democracy is the government of the people, means this is the government of people, by the people. Why? Because people are electing the government, and for the people. And after electing, after the forming of government, they are working for the benefit of the people. So it is for the people. So this is simple definition. If anyone asks you the democracy, then this definition you can give. This is the type of government of the people, by the people and for the people. So this is all about democracy, and the best type of government it is known as, that is democracy. Democratic government in India. In India, if we talk about this best type of government, democratic government is present. India has the democratic type of government. All people are equal here in front of laws. People have power to elect their representative in the government. As we talked that there in the government, we elect our representative, and our representative represent us there in the government. So in India, democratic type of government is present, in which all the people are equal and we have the power to elect our representative in elections for making the government. Next is representative democracy. What does it mean? Why do we say representative democracy? In representative democracy, people do not participate directly in the government, but they participate in the government through their elected representative. The representative meet and make decisions for the entire population. What they are trying to say, that in representative democracy which is present in India, as we are casting our vote, if you have seen at the time of election, different people, they give the nomination for the election, and the population of the particular area, they go and cast their vote, they go and give their votes to their favorite candidate, and the candidate who wins the election, that person is a part of government, and that person is representative of the population of that particular area from where he is elected. And representative meet the people of that area and listen the problems and make decisions for the entire population. So this is the representative democracy, in which people do not participate directly in the government, but they participate through the elected representative they are in the government. This is all about representative democracy that we are having. The next is earliest form of government in India. Here we are talking about before independence. Before independence, what was there? All the people were not having the right to vote in the election. What was the criteria? Small minority mean the small number of people, they were allowed to vote. Small minority was allowed to vote in elections. Women, propertyless and uneducated people were not allowed to vote. Only the people, those were educated, and those were the rich people, you can say, they were having the right to vote only. The other people, or women especially, or the people those were poor and illiterate, they were not allowed to give vote there in the elections. So that was the criteria of the voting there in earliest time of government, and the country was governed by the rules and regulations that few men made. The rules and regulations, as we are representative are there in the government, and they are taking the problems and different decision from the people also. So the rules and regulations those were formed at that time, they were making by the few people only, those were the minority, or we can say the educated or literate people only, but women, propertyless or uneducated people, they were not having the right to vote. It means at that time the discrimination or inequality was there in voting system also. The people, those were having the property or those were educated people, they were only having the right to vote. But due to the different people, those fought for that every person must have the right to vote. Now after independence, here in India, all the people are having the right to vote, means all the people are equal in front of laws. That also we will be discussing. Now Gandhiji's opinion on minority voting. As we talked about minority voting, in which only few people were having right to vote. So what he said in the journal Young Indian in 1931, journal means magazine, you can say. In the journal Young Indian in 1931, Gandhiji said, I cannot possibly bear the idea that a person who has got wealth should have the vote. A man who has got character but not wealth or literate should not should have no vote. It means Gandhiji was trying to say that is not right that the person who is having the wealth means property, that person has the right to vote, but the person who does not have the wealth or property but has the character, that person was unable to cast the vote. So Gandhiji said, a man who works honestly by sweat of his brow day and night should not have the vote for the crime of being a poor man. Means it is not a good idea that a poor person who does the work in day during the night, that person is not having the right to vote. So this idea I can't bear. This was said by Gandhiji in Young Indian 1931. So according to him, he tried to say that every person should have right to vote whether the person is poor or illiterate. This was all about Gandhiji's opinion on minority voting. Now, universal adult franchise, the very important topic. What does it mean? The rule that allows all adults in the country to vote and take part in election is universal adult franchise. The rule that allows all adults in the country to vote and take part in election is universal adult franchise. It means right to vote for all adult people is known as universal adult franchise. In India, all the people of 18 and above 18 age have right to vote. So, in simple language, we can say that universal adult franchise means the right to vote for all adults. That is known as universal adult franchise. The next topic, suffrage movement. Suffrage usually means right to vote. The meaning of suffrage is right to vote. And here basically we are talking about women's suffrage movement. What is the meaning of this women's suffrage movement? It means voting right to women. As we talked that earlier, they were not having right to vote. Not in India, even in other countries also, women, they were not having right to vote. And what was there? Then at the time of First World War, when men were there away for fighting in the war, at that time women were called upon for the work, and it was observed that they did the work of organization, managing the things very well. So it was assumed that when women they are able to do all the work, why were not they having the right to vote? Then some of the suffragettes, the people who demanded for right to vote for women, some of the suffragettes demanded the right to vote for all women. So this was all about how it was started. So women's suffrage movement means voting right to women. As earlier it was not with the women community. And in America, American women got right to vote in 1920. Before that, there also women they were not having right to vote. As First World War it was from 1914 to 1918. As we talked at the time of First World War, when women they managed everything very well, so it was assumed that when women they are able to do these things, so they must have right to vote also. So then in 1920, American women got right to vote, and in UK, women got right to vote in 1928. So this was all about the topics of today's lecture. And which topics we have covered? The types of government, in which three types of government we have included: monarchy, dictatorship, democracy. And the best type of government, democracy. And in India, democratic government is present. Then representative democracy, in which people participate in the government through elected representative. They are not directly part of the government. Then we talked about the earliest form of government in India. The minority was having the right to vote. Only the educated people and the rich people were having right to vote. But after independence, the right to vote was given to all the people. And democracy, the fully democracy, it was started, and all the people from that time are equal in front of laws, and we can choose our representative, we can cast our vote in election. Then Gandhiji's opinion on the minority voting, that we discussed today. And very important, universal adult franchise, in which we have done right to vote for all adult people, that is known as universal adult franchise. Suffrage movement, in which we talked about women's suffrage movement, and American women got right to vote in 1920, UK women got right to vote in 1928. This was all about the today's lecture. Now let's move further for the homework. The questions that you will attempt: differentiate between democracy and monarchy type of government. You will differentiate between these government. Define universal adult franchise. The meaning of universal adult franchise you will write. And the third question, when did American women get right to vote? So these questions you will attempt. Now for the solution, homework solution of the previous lecture, it was the question number 1 that was given: what do you understand by the word government? Government is an organization that takes decision and makes laws for the welfare of its people. List 5 ways in which you think the government affects your daily life. Here we can write the role of government or the functions done by government. The ways in which the government affects our daily life are: it maintains law and order, it protects the life and property of the people, it provides facility like school, hospital, roads, it runs railway and postal services, it controls and fixes the prices of the material, it prepares programs for the poor people, and you can add some more that we discussed in yesterday's lecture. The third question, explain the levels of government. The levels of government are: central level, it covers entire country, the matter of entire country, that is the part of central government. State level, it covers the entire state, the matters of a particular state, that is the part of state government. Local government, it covers villages and towns. So this is all about the levels of government in India. So thank you for today and have a nice day.